Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, former President Donald Trump tries to capitalize on his legal troubles. That and how other Republicans are campaigning following the first debate. And in Hawaii, the county of Maui has released an official list of those who are still unaccounted for after the deadly wildfires.
And a first alert weather day continues for dangerous heat and spotty storms. Those details coming up as Mountain News at 5:30 starts now.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Some are dealing with the hottest weather all year today, while others are seeing strong to severe storms and the potential for flooding. Meteorologist Cameron Aaron has the latest on this first alert weather day. Cameron.
Yes, Steve, it is busy out there right now. Here's a live look at the radar. And like you said, for most of us, we are dry. But along and north of the Mountain Parkway, we are tracking some pretty hefty thunderstorms. One thunderstorm also in Pike County, not too far away from Jenkins in Letcher County, also stretching into portions of Dickinson County as well in southwest Virginia. But the problems are in this portion of the region right now, from Rowan County into West Liberty near Morgan County, also into Frenchburg for Menifee County. A severe thunderstorm warning does continue for Bath, Menifee, Montgomery, Morgan, and Rowan until 6 o'clock this evening for the possibility of strong straight line winds. However, some flash flood warnings are also in place for Rowan, also into Elliott County as well into this evening. Here's a live look from the Mountain Parkway at Slade. If you look closely, you can see those dark clouds back in the distance as those thunderstorms are not too far away. But for some of us, we are absolutely baking right now. 94 in Manchester, 93 for London, also Williamsburg, and check out Monticello, 95 degrees right now over in Wayne County. Once you factor in that dew point, feels like 107 in Somerset, feels like 103 in London, feels like 75 though for Jackson and Prestonsburg, where that rain cooled air is not too far away. And that is why we have a first alert weather day in place for the possibility of also heat, but some dangerous storms as well, as some flash flooding cannot be ruled out. Also the possibility for some strong straight line winds. That busy forecast is going to continue into this evening. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, busy Friday. Cameron, thank you very much. Republican candidates for president have had trouble breaking through the noise of former President Trump's legal problems. And while those court cases are drawing a lot of media attention, they are also providing Trump with a way to extend his lead over the field of contenders. CBS's Willie James Inman has more from the White House.
Former President Donald Trump is trying to capitalize on his most recent legal troubles to help him win back the White House. His campaign was selling mugs and T-shirts featuring his booking photo within an hour of leaving the Fulton County Jail in Georgia.
What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support. And that goes with the other ones, too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was looking for a little electoral magic at the Field of Dreams Thursday night. At the exact same time, Trump was being booked in Atlanta.
Well, I'm glad I'm at the Field of Dreams. I'm happy to be here.
Nearly 13 million people tuned in to watch DeSantis and 7 other presidential hopefuls at this week's GOP debate. Candidates are hoping that they can capitalize on any momentum they may have been able to gain at the event.
It's not just about the 2-hour debate itself. It's about what happens in the following several days. These debates, or some of the good moments from the debates, can create their own news cycles and really increase interest and momentum, which is important for fundraising.
President Biden watched some of the debate while on vacation in Lake Tahoe.
I don't remember them speaking to any of the issues. I mean, there was a lot of talk.
The Biden campaign launched a new digital ad slamming Republican candidates for trying to take away reproductive rights. Willie James Inman, CBS News, the White House.
The Biden-Harris campaign spent $25 million to run that digital ad in several battleground states. Trump-era Department of Justice official Jeffrey Clark surrendered at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta early this morning. Clark is accused of trying to use his federal law enforcement powers to overturn the 2020 election. He faces 2 state crimes, violating Georgia's anti-racketeering law and attempting to commit false statements. Clark is one of the 19, including former President Trump, who were indicted in the Georgia election subversion case. He has denied any wrongdoing. The White House is defending its response to the influx of asylum seekers coming to the United States. A spokesperson says the administration is doing all it can to build a safe, orderly, and humane immigration system, but it is limited without congressional action. This comes after New York's governor called on President Biden to do more to help with the number of migrants coming to that state. New York City has received millions of dollars in federal funding to help with the influx. A fire erupted at a state prison in Huntsville, Texas early this morning, forcing about 650 inmates to evacuate. An official familiar with the situation says no one was hurt by the fire. A spokesperson for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice says the fire appeared to be confined to the attic and third floor of the administration building and the attic of a unit that houses inmates.
Right now there's no injury, so everyone's safe. If needed, we do have the capacity throughout the state to transfer inmates if we need to, but we don't know if that's needed at this time.
The fire was contained later in the morning, but the Huntsville fire chief says firefighters were still chasing small fires in some concealed spaces. Some of your favorite items at the Dollar Tree may no longer be available soon due to an increase in theft. Dollar Tree's chief executive and chief financial officer told analysts in a call Thursday that the company experienced a 30% drop in gross profit margin in its latest quarter. The retailer blamed the decline on changing consumer demands on top of higher prices for fuel, electricity, and shrink. That is the industry term for losses due to theft and damages. Some important new numbers regarding the wildfire disaster in Hawaii. The county of Maui has released an official list of those who are still unaccounted for, 3 days after the FBI estimated it could be as high as 1,100. But following a strict verification procedure, 388 names are on that new list. There have been 115 confirmed deaths, and for the first time, a child has been identified among the victims. CBS's Ben Tracy has more.
Off the coast of Lahaina, Navy divers are searching a 4-mile stretch of coastline, looking for those who may have drowned as they desperately tried to flee the fire by jumping into the ocean.
They are meticulously doing the same thing in the water that we're doing on land.
Mike Pruitt is part of FEMA's search team. After more than 2 weeks, they are now combing through the last of the destroyed buildings.
Why is it taking so long to get through the entire town?
It takes inch by inch. We see the photos of those missing that people are posting. And when you see those faces, it drives our team to even get back here and get to work as quick as they can.
For the first time, police have identified a child killed in the fire, 7-year-old Tony Takafua. The family says he and his mother tried to escape the flames and were found in a burnt-out car.
We're still collecting information and reports.
Steve Merrill is the FBI's special agent in charge in Honolulu.
What is the biggest challenge you're facing?
We're finding that a lot of the information we received through nobody's fault is incomplete and sometimes ambiguous.
The FBI has been compiling the just-released verified list of the 388 people still unaccounted for.
Hopefully the public will come forward, see someone on the list, maybe themselves even, and report in that they are safe and sound or provide more information to help us find and account for those people.
And Maui County is now blaming Hawaiian Electric for starting the fire, alleging in a lawsuit that the utility acted negligently by failing to power down their electrical equipment during high winds. In response, Hawaiian Electric says it's very disappointed that Maui County chose this litigious path while the investigation is still unfolding.
Now, in its lawsuit, Maui County alleges that Hawaiian Electric's downed power lines ignited grass and dry brush in the area, and that's what started the fires. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Maui.
Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30.